Okay, so Doge, like it or not, people like it. If you don't like them, well, you'd be in the minority because they just did a poll, and it looks like 76% of Americans support Doge. That's just one poll. That's a Harvard poll, apparently a pretty you know a pretty significant poll, a pretty upstanding poll, which is it's good to see. But I think if you talk to people, a lot of people are just I mean, whether you support Elon and his Doge team or not, specifically, I think most people support looking under the hood. Let's see where all this money's going. Why is there so much waste? Why is the U.S. 2 trillion in deficit every year? Like, where is that money going? And where can it be? Where can things be cut? Because obviously, you know anything about business, or anything about living. You can't live in negative for too long before shit hits the fan. Let me read this article, and then I'm going to show you. I'm going to read this article here, then I'm going to show you the Doge website, where it shows how much money they've purported to save over since inception, and how much that relates to per taxpayer, which is funny because people think that that's what they're going to get. They're going to get some kind of rebate check. Not going to happen. This is NDTV World. It says polls show 76% of Americans support Doge, and Elon Musk reacts. 76% of Americans support the Department of Government Efficiency, according to the new Harvard Caps Harris poll. At a White House press briefing last week, Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt highlighted the poll findings. 76% of Americans support the Doge-led efforts of a full-scale investigation to find and eliminate fraud and waste in government expenditures. Billionaire Elon Musk, who leads the initiative to eliminate fraud and streamline federal spending, on Sunday reacted to the poll findings on X, writing, "The American people like what they see." Doge has reported billions in government savings, launching an agency efficiency leaderboard ranking departments based on cost-cutting efforts. Agencies such as the Department of Education, General Services Administration, Environmental Protection Agency, Department of Labor, and Office of Personnel Management have recorded the most savings. Doge thus far has proven incredibly successful in making our government more efficient, Leavitt said. Tasked with cutting wasteful spending, Doge has flagged massive financial mismanagement. Earlier, Musk revealed that the U.S. government loses $2 trillion annually and cited examples such as the missing $12 billion for submarines and trillions in unchecked payments, which continue due to bureaucratic inertia. The government earlier canceled a $21 million fund meant to boost voter turnout in India. Yeah, we need that. It also scrapped funding for several other overseas projects, including $29 million for political programs in Bangladesh, $47 million for education in Asia, $40 million for gender equality, and $32 million for the Prague Civil Society Center. These sound like things that are needed. Fuck your bridge. Your bridge is breaking. Oh, we got wildfires in LA and South Carolina. Too bad. We need to send some money over there for these voter turnouts in India. Trump's overall approval ratings at 52%. The survey conducted online from February 19 to 20 among 2,443 registered voters also showed U.S. President Donald Trump's overall approval rating at 52% in his first month back in office. The poll highlighted strong public support for his handling of immigration, cutting government costs, and returning America to its values. Describing it as very legitimate, pollster shouted that Americans overwhelmingly give Trump very positive remarks, with most of his policies receiving strong majority support. Well, of course. I mean, he got a mandate, so it's too early now for people to say, okay, this stuff isn't working. And initially, he's making the right moves on a lot of things, right? So, he slowed immigration completely. I mean, people were expecting this mass exodus of illegals, but of course that takes time. You can't just, you got to find them and deport them. But you can stop the bleeding. That's the biggest thing, right? The bleeding was the open border. So the open border's been closed essentially. So that bleeding stopped, and now it's finding where all the infection is. That's the people. So you can't expect too much with that. But other things like the DOGE, this Department of Government Efficiency, that was part of his promise, and he's doing it. He's fulfilling his promises, whether you like it or not. He's fulfilling his promises, and it takes a little time. These are big ships; they don't move very fast, right? So, All right, that's the end of that article. Basically, not a bad article. I mean, sounds a little bit, it might be leaning a little bit towards Trump, which is nice to read an article finally like that, because most of them lean away. And I just want an article that's really trying to broadcast news, which is what you're looking for news. You don't want partisan propaganda, essentially. So yeah, it's like I said, let me show you this. This is the DOGE site. So you can check this out yourself. You just go to doge.gov and then you can find out, you can see all this. You can see what they're doing. Like it shows you the leaderboard or where the most money has been sort of found. And then they go through all these different, you can literally click on a link here and see what the document is. So the document's scanned. It shows you what it is. You're not really going to understand any of it, but it's there. It's open for you to look. You can see the value, what they are, a small explanation essentially of what it is, where it's going, and there's the total. So the estimated savings right now, it says 105 billion. Of course, that's not a true savings. Anybody who thinks that is, I got a bridge to sell you. It's probably breaking because infrastructure sucks. But so it's not an actual 100% true. It's just estimated. It says estimated savings. So that's where they're just taking something, and obviously if they've got a contract that maybe some has been paid out, some of it's still outstanding, it's not going to be 100% savings on that contract. It might be just bloated and bullshit, but there's some of it that's saved, and it'll, as they go, they're going to find more, and they're going to audit and figure out what the real number is. But when you're talking about these kinds of numbers, let's say you audit it and it's 102 billion instead of 105 billion. Okay. Not that 3 billion isn't significant, but it's still 102 billion, so. But this one makes me laugh. The amount saved per taxpayer. People are using this. They're all over this as some kind of like rebate that this is going to come back to Joe Blow taxpayer. No, it will not. You might get some type of tax savings, like some rebates and things like that, things you can actually use to write off your taxes, but you're not going to get a check, because realistically, this is money it's not like this is surplus. This is all negative. It's like asking a losing company for a raise, it's like a company losing money, I should say, for a raise. It's not money that's there. It's money that's just being saved and being, it's stopped. They're stopping it from being spent poorly. So anyways, so if you want to check that out, check it out. I encourage you, just take a look, keep watching that. It's, it's there for you. And, I mean, again, I think this is good stuff. I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see them, saving money on bullshit and putting more money in people's pockets. And, I'm not American, but, happy to see my American brothers and sisters getting a little bit of a break on where their money is being spent, their taxpayer dollars, and printed money being spent. Like, let's get that deficit down and hopefully not go bankrupt.